The media gives us their opinion and politicians give us their talking points, but we're going to talk about some things that we know. Something that we should know is that an educated, a well-informed person is not fit to be a slave. That's why the slave owners back in the day, they didn't want their slaves to know how to read. If they knew how to read, they might figure out a way to free themselves from slavery. Our politicians today are a lot like the slave owners back then. They do not want you and I to be informed. They don't want us to be educated about the facts of what's going on in this country today. That's why they fight, they bicker back and forth. You know, if these people really hated each other as much as they pretend to, we would be seeing fist fights, knockdown dragouts on the floor of Congress. I mean, these people talk about each other like they're dogs, snakes in the grass. It's unbelievable some of the things that they say about each other. But then you see them all going out to dinner together. It's a game to these people. And you and I were the fools, the uneducated fools, that they get to collect for prizes. Let's take a short test and let's see just how informed we are in this country today. What is the title of the most powerful person in the country? What is the group of people called that decides what happens in your local school? What branch of government decides how much money and what that money will be spent for when the federal government spends money? Who makes those decisions? What's that branch of government called? The last question. What two groups hold the most power in our government today? So let's see how we all did on the test. What's the title of the most powerful person in this country? That title is the voter. You are the most powerful person in this country. You hold the vote. You're the one who has a voice in what happens in this country. No one in this country is more powerful than the American voter. What's the group of people called who decide what happens in your local school? The voter. You decide what children learn in your local community. Just look around today. Look at all of these young people who do not have a clue what America is, what it means, what it stands for. They don't understand what's going on. And the reason they don't understand is because we, the voters, we failed them. We did not take an active part in that school board. We did not pay attention to what the schools were teaching the future citizens of this country. And today, we have exactly the country that we deserve. Make no mistake, the government in D.C. is not the ones responsible for all of this rioting and looting and all of this nonsense that we see young people doing today. It's the fault of the most powerful person in this country. That would be you. The third question, which branch of government decides how much money and for what purpose the government will spend? Well, that would be the voter. You see, friends, we are the government, you and I. That's why the executive, the legislative, and the judicial, that's why they're called branches. Have you ever stopped to ask the question, what are they a branch of? If you're a branch, you have to be coming off of something, right? They're a branch of us. We are the government. We have total power over them if we're educated and if we're informed. So what are the two most powerful groups in government today? It's the voter and the non-voter. It's not the Republicans and the Democrats Who put them there? Who decides if we have Republicans in office or Democrats in office? It's the people who vote and the people who don't vote. We are the most powerful groups in our government. And it's time we start acting like it. It's time that we start using that power for our benefit. And we do that, friends, by showing our butts up at a poll and voting. By knowing who it is that we're voting for, what they're going to do, how they're going to act, how they're going to behave when they get to wherever it is that we're sending them. We are informed. We have knowledge. We are unfit to be their slave. And that is what makes us the most powerful group in the United States of America, the voter.